going around in circles. Ba-da-ba. Da-da-da.
Wait, you gotta stop.
No. What is your problem? You liked it.
We ain't got no flare fish in here.
That one looks like
Let's touch some lake sturgeon, boys. Super bony.
They don't not bite. They're roller coasters. I can't touch their hair.
These guys are little ones.
Hey, look at that. It's like a big, huge sucky thing. What? Look at my turtle, Daddy. Whoa, turtle.
Some respect to Jeremy Wade.
Daddy, I see those big ones.
You need a pretty big boat to hold that anchor.
Wait, where's that?
Oh, dang. Ooh, look at this. It's a massive greenhouse.
Oh, it's sticky.
Hey, that's a
The bean is pretty crazy, my friends. That's us. That's us right there.
We'll go to the lake.
Hello.
We're going to the lake, yeah?
And there's the city.
Okay, girls, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Go. And there's us. Goodbye.
We're not gonna go.
Just look at this weird thing right here. I don't even know what is that. But there's a tall building.
You can't drop the camera, okay?
And there's a more building. And there's that weird
I'll
thing
take a
again.
picture of you and Mom.
Goodbye, weird thing. There's a muskrat over there, boys. Just doing some frog fishing. I'm still shaking. I just caught a fish on the last cast, so I'm kind of juiced right now. All right, my Google Maps says there's a pond in all these trees, and if I can get to it, I'm pretty sure there should be some toads in here because I don't think a lot of people are as dedicated as me and are trying to get into stuff like that. So let's do some bushwhacking, boys. All right, here we are at the edge of this forest. It is insanely overgrown, and I know why this pond looks so secluded, because no one goes back here. There's no one to clear this out. Wow. If I can get to it though, I hope it's a honey hole. Let's see. Wow, this is already thick, and we're not even that deep. If we sidestep, we can like lay it down. There's someone listening to music in the house across it. Let's go to this little clearing. Oh, you know what? This is probably a deer bed down right here. Let's keep going. Oh, this is a berm. That's why it looks so tall. It's grown up over the berm. And this is, I guess, the pond back. Not many people are gonna want to bushwhack like this and see water. We're getting there, boys. This is dense, and there are pokey things kidding me, boys? Look at how good this looks. If only I can get a cast off. But no one has been back here anytime soon, as of what I can see. Well, there are frogs everywhere, so at least I'm throwing the right bait. Well, we got out of there, and that place was absolutely choked with lily pads. I was getting destroyed by mosquitoes, and I didn't have the right gear. I don't like making excuses, but I don't think that area was the best to be fishing with 15-pound mono. You know, that's more of a 120-pound braid. That's how choked it was. You know, if I got a toad on here, I wouldn't have been able to jerk it out. I would have lost it. You know, but that braid would have been able to cut through pads and stuff. I'm gonna go back to this pond. It's not as choked with stuff. And see if we can't get anything going there. The sun's starting to go down, so hopefully they'll be feeding. Alright boys, how's it going? We're throwing frogs again today on this pond, and just got this one frog. It's pulling through all sorts of slop on the way, but there it is. Dang, he's got a hole in his mouth, so I'm gonna set you guys down and get this guy off the hook and let him go. Alright, we're back. This one's a little bit better than the last one. He already had a hole in his mouth, so I think I might have hooked him and then he got off, but let's go and let's get the release. Alright boys, let's walk down this bank. I had to flip him up through this stuff just to land him. Release him down here. And he's off somewhere through there. Oh, he went through there. Well, you do you, pal.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back in Arizona. This is being filmed after the end of my Chicago trip, and I wanted to show you guys how I was catching my fish, because I did get the opportunity to go fishing a lot in Chicago. I was staying at a place with a pond in the backyard, so that was amazing. I had a great time, and let's get into how I caught my fish. So what I was using this Spro Bronzeye Junior frog. This is one of the only frogs I've ever owned. I live in Arizona, so I don't have to frog a lot, but I figured in Illinois there's a lot of frogs, so this is what I used. It looks like a lot of the bullfrogs that we saw swimming around in those ponds, and it worked quite well. I think I caught 2 or 3 fish on this frog over the course of my trip, and I was using this on a medium action spinning rod with a 4:1 gear ratio reel and a 15-pound monofilament. Not the ideal setup. Instead, what I would prefer to use is a heavy action bait casting rod with a 8:1 gear ratio reel and 60-pound braid. The 60-pound braid would really help with pulling these frogs and fish through the slop in the grass in those ponds and lakes in Illinois. And the heavy action rod would help to set the hook on those fish to get these really, if you can see those thick wire hooks. It takes a lot of force to get those through the bass's mouth, so that's what the heavy action rod is for. And then the 8:1 gear ratio reel makes it a lot easier to walk these across the surface, because if you don't have that, it's harder to pick up the slack in between the time when you jerk the rod and then the bait moves forward. And what I would basically do with this, I would target areas where there wasn't any slop on top of the water. So where I was fishing, there's a ton of duckweed in the pond, and it would coat most of the surface. But what I would do is target the areas where there wasn't a lot of it, and there were little pockets where there wasn't any duckweed on the surface, and that's where I'd get most of my blow-ups. And that's how I caught these fish. I think you see 2 or 3 of them before this in the video. They're not very big, but it's my first time frog fishing, so I mean, I hope you guys can respect that. And if you guys enjoyed this tip section, then leave a like and come back for more. See you next week.